Hi guys, I'm Dr. Jigyasa Saini and I'm going to briefly discuss about the types of diabetes that requires that extra attention, that being maturity onset diabetes of the young and latent autoimmune diabetes of adulthood. So to begin with, maturity onset diabetes of the young is a variant of type 2 diabetes, although it has features quite similar to type 1 diabetes as well. It majorly occurs in individuals less than 25 years of age and occurs due to defect in the beta cell function that causes impairment in secretion of insulin. It is inherited as an autosomal dominant disorder due to mutations in the genes such as HNF1 alpha, HNF4 alpha, HNF1 beta, or glucokinase. Coming on to the presentation of maturity onset diabetes of the young, it is quite similar to any patient that comes with diabetes, that is presenting with features of polydipsia, polyphagia and polyuria. However, a patient of maturity onset may not typically be obese or have high cholesterol that is usually present in a patient of type 2 diabetes. Which brings us to the treatment of maturity onset diabetes of the young. We need to remember that it can majorly be controlled with dietary modifications and exercise regimens. Although anti-hyperglycemic drugs can also be administered, such as sulfonylureas, which is the mainstay of treatment for maturity onset diabetes of the young caused due to mutations in the HNF1 alpha gene. Although insulin therapies can also be given. So in the end, the main clinchers that we can remember for maturity onset diabetes of the young is that it occurs in individuals less than 25 years of age. They majorly present in a hyperglycemic state and they can easily be treated with oral anti-hyperglycemic drugs such as sulfonylureas. Guys, the next type of diabetes that we are going to discuss is latent autoimmune diabetes of adulthood, which is a variant of type 1 diabetes that occurs in individuals of less than 50 years of age. That is, it is diabetes type 1 because of its insidious onset develops late in adults. It is characterized by the presence of GAD antibodies, which is glutamic acid decarboxylase. Coming on to the presentation of this disease, one needs to understand that the initial symptoms would that be of letharginess, lightheadedness or feeling hungry soon after a meal. But as the disease develops, the symptoms progress to feeling hard to quench thirst, having tingling sensation or having blurred visions. Latent autoimmune diabetes of adulthood is often confused with diabetes type 2 because of its late onset. But the following points of difference can help us segregate between the two, which is a state of hypoglycemia despite treatment with oral anti-hyperglycemic drugs, absence of metabolic syndrome, that is, a patient of LADA might not present with obesity, high cholesterol or hypertension, and presence of other autoimmune diseases such as Graves' disease. Since in latent autoimmune diabetes of adulthood, there is loss of the beta cell function due to constant antibodies being generated against it, one needs to preserve its function, which is possible by treating patients of LADA with thiazolidinediones or metformin. Insulin can also be administered. Also, the one point of difference, stark difference between patients of latent autoimmune diabetes of adulthood and type 2 diabetes mellitus is that one progresses to the insulin therapy way quicker in LADA as compared to patients of type 2 diabetes mellitus.
So to have a better understanding of the topics that has been discussed just now, Dr. Jigyasa and I, Dr. Asim, we will be walking through some of the clinical scenarios and see how to approach these cases. So let's move on to our first clinical scenario. So our first case is a 19-year-old man who presents with weight loss, increased thirst, and increased frequency of going to the washroom. His father, grandfather, and his two sisters have been diagnosed with diabetes mellitus. His blood test shows a HbA1c of 62 and a fasting blood glucose of 9. What is the single most likely type of diabetes this man suffers from?
So, in this question, we focus on a few things like the age of this patient, which is 19, that is an individual less than 25 years presenting with symptoms of diabetes, that is polyuria, polydipsia, and polyphagia, along with raised fasting glucose. The second factor that we need to focus here is that he's also presenting with a strong family history of type 2 diabetes running in his family. Thus, this individual is suffering from maturity onset diabetes of the young, which is a variant of type 2 diabetes. So, our next patient is a 24-year-old woman who presents to the GP surgery with increased thirst and increased frequency of urination. Her paternal grandfather and father both were diagnosed with diabetes mellitus. Her BMI is 29. Her blood tests show an HbA1c of 60 millimole per mole with fasting blood glucose of 19 millimole per liter. What is the single most appropriate management? So here the patient is most likely to suffer from maturity onset diabetes of young, and such patients are referred to secondary care diabetic clinic to look for the mutated gene, as the treatment differs accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely. And once these patients are referred to the secondary care diabetic clinic, and that if we talk about the drug treatment, so that is sulfonylureas, because most of the types of maturity onset diabetes of young, they respond to sulfonylureas.
So our last case is of a 35-year-old woman who presented to GP surgery 6 months ago complaining of excessive thirst, frequent micturition and unintentional weight loss for 4 months. HbA1c performed established a diagnosis of diabetes, and she was advised to implement lifestyle modifications and started on metformin. However, her recent HbA1c indicated poor glycemic control. On further discussion, she reveals that her mother had vitiligo and her sister was diagnosed with Graves' disease 2 years ago, which is the single most appropriate investigation to differentiate type 1 diabetes mellitus from type 2 diabetes mellitus. So here the diagnosis of diabetes mellitus is established, that is not responsive to lifestyle modifications or metformin. Additionally, the woman is also presenting with family history of autoimmune diseases, which is Graves and vitiligo here. This means that she has wrongly been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and whereas she is rather a case of latent autoimmune diabetes of adulthood, which is a variant of type 1 diabetes. This diagnosis fits perfectly since type 1 diabetes also presents with an insidious onset in individuals less than 50 years of age, and they may not necessarily have insulin deficiency but have GAD antibodies positive.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So it means that GAD antibodies help us to differentiate between type 1 diabetes from type 2 diabetes because they are present in type 1 unlike type 2.
Absolutely. Coming to an end to this quick sneak peek into diabetes and its management, we hope you found this video informative.
And also the slides used on this video can be found in Anyone Can Teach section in Plavable Gems on the Plavable website itself.
Thanks for watching, guys. So please don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
And stay tuned to our Plavable YouTube channel for upcoming teaching videos.